So, my fiance has way too many role-playing books. Like, you see this? That's not even a pin drop. Oh, keep going. Oh, there's more. Like, you don't even know. This isn't even half. Keep going. No, that hardly even counts. There's more. I know, it's piled so high you can't even see them.
I'm back here.
But there's more coming. It's coming. Yeah. Keep showing them. We're getting close now. Hi, I'm still here.
That's all the books. This is the magazines.
Oh right, there was more on the table, or the chair I mean. I forgot about those ones.
This is my entire role-playing library. And we're going to get into it a book at a time here on Retro Reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Retro Review, where I go through my entire collection of D&D books and other role-playing games, and Laura helps keep me on track.
Hi everybody, so I've got a list of questions here that I'm going to go through about a different role-playing book. So what book do we have tonight?
We have a book and some cards. We have the Cardmaster Adventure Design game book. Alright, so now you're going to ask, what is this about?
What is this? Yeah.
Alright, so we have basically, they went and made a simplified version of D&D where you have some cards for different, basically it's the easy stuff, the stats for monsters such as hit dice, AC, their THACA, which is to hit armor class 0, which basically means if they can hit something or not, and their treasure status. Has a bunch of different monsters, has a bunch of different cards with different room layouts on them, and different treasure things. Like this one right here is a Staff of Curing. So it's basically a staff that when you do somebody with a curing spell. It's basically, you can play it as a little game where you basically set and you build a dungeon with the cards out on the table, and use some modified versions of the D&D rules to do that. Or you can actually use this as a dungeon building toolkit where you basically just kind of like shuffle the door deck of what rooms there are and flip it over, and you can auto-generate a D&D dungeon with the cards.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Where did you get these?
These, I saw the cards. They were actually in a much clearer case than this, but that one broke. It was one of the little hinge ones, but I saw the cards sitting on the shelf at Volumes Bookstore in Holton when I went in one time, because I was always going into Volumes to check out if they've got some D&D RPG type stuff floating around.
Sure.
A lot of my comic book collection came from Volumes.
Where'd the book come from?
The book is the book and the cards. Like, I saw the cards.
They came together.
And they came together as a set. So I was just like,
yeah, nice.
This is cool. And I've been thinking about using them for a while for playing some D&D. Everything in here is like set for 2nd edition. But I was like, at that time I started playing a lot more 3rd, and they've just been collecting dust. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, I need to start using these. It's just some impromptu. All right, let's do what we call a BS. Like me and my friends just call it BS campaigns. Where we're just like, well, yeah, yeah, I'll just flip over a card. And
So, have you actually used these?
I have not used these. I've had the intent,
Oh.
but they've just been buried sitting in the back. But they're definitely.
So I can't really ask what you like about it, but
What I like about it is that whole aspect of it's such an easy. You shuffle some cards, flip stuff over, and you can just auto-generate a dungeon.
yeah, that's neat.
I know I went nuts over the Dungeon Builder's Guide as something where I can just roll dice and build a dungeon. But this is something I could definitely use at a table where I'm like, I just need a random dungeon.
Yeah, that's neat. Is there something that you think you wouldn't like about this?
There's so many games that came out after this that are just you're wandering through a dungeon, fighting monsters and stuff. It's so much simpler. So I don't think I would actually use it for that intended purpose of like playing this by itself as a game. Munchkin, which I've got like a couple of the expansion sets and stuff, is a better, easier to understand, get new players to play type dungeon crawl card game.
This is like an assistance for D&D, not a game in itself.
Yeah, I see this more as a game aid than using it as a game itself.
Yeah, I got you. Would you recommend it to other people?
I would definitely recommend this to other people. The dungeon crawl cards and items and stuff like that could easily be used just for brainstorming. The dungeon crawl cards, the building an actual dungeon out. There's a game I've been wanting to get into and play a lot more that I've got a copy of called Index Card RPG. And it's set up to be like, well, here's your three things. Here's your piece of treasure, here's your room, and here's your monster.
So this is kind of similar?
This is kind of similar. I think he probably got some ideas from this game to do that. So, this would be something I would definitely say if you're a kind of DM that needs some inspiration for building a dungeon and you don't want to get as crunchy and into it as the Dungeon Builder's Guide gets, then this is very much an easier, quick dungeon building tool.
Yeah, cool. So you've never used it. Are you planning to keep it and use it?
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to use it. I don't think any of my dungeon building tool kit is going to go away until I've gotten some serious use out of it.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, well, I think that's all we've got.
That's all we've got for this episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment about what is your favorite dungeon building tool that you own, or some tool that you own for dungeon building that you haven't gotten a chance to use yet.
Okay.
All right. Night, everybody.
Night.